Oi, pessoal, olha só a preciosidade desse vídeo. Uma conversa entre dois gigantes da psicologia, Aaron Beck e Martin Seligman, contando como eles se conheceram. Permitam-se encantar como eu me encantei ao ver a história da psicologia, não só da psicologia positiva, mas da psicologia. Eu vou contextualizar para vocês, tá bom? Foi um encontro que eles fizeram entre ex-alunos do MAP, onde estava presente Aaron Beck, Judith Beck, Martin Seligman, e no início desse encontro eles contaram como eles se conheceram. Inclusive o Martin Seligman disse, ó, esse é o tipo de história que a gente tem que contar para os nossos netos, né? E só para contextualizar também, a legenda está gerada, a tradução está gerada automaticamente. Então, quando eles falam que eles se conheceram por meio dos encontros, eles estão falando de Joseph Wolpe, um dos pioneiros da terapia comportamental, tá? É que na tradução está outro nome, tá bom? Se encantem como eu me encantei e testemunhem essa lindeza da psicologia.
Welcome to a historic session. I think this is a session that we can tell our grandchildren about. It's my great pleasure today to have us start off with Tim Beck. Tim and I have been meeting for lunch, about once a month for the last 20 years. And I've now made it to 77, and Tim has made it to 98. And so we're going to have our lunch session today with some 200 of you. And the session today will start off with Tim and with Judy Beck as well. Judy is the head of the Beck Institute, and we've got Karen Rivich and Judy Salzberg here. We've got Hal Urban here as well. So Tim and Judy will talk for a bit, and then they'll take your questions, and then I'll talk for a bit. I have something new to say. This is the first time I've ever endorsed the smiley face, and I'll talk a bit about that. So without a further introduction, except to say that Tim comes from Aaron Beck's middle name, Temkin, but I've known him all my life as Tim. So Tim, it's a great pleasure to have you here at our lunchtime meeting.
So first of all, I am very happy, you can see my smiley face, to be here and to talk to this Alumni Association, plus a number of people from the Beck Institute, and also my two assistants are here. That's Victoria and Molly. I thought you might be interested, and Marty would be interested in this too, as to how I first met Marty. And this was in the basement of Joe Wolpe's house. Now, for those who don't remember Joe Wolpe, he was the pioneer in behavioral psychology. And at that time, I wanted to find out as much as I could about behavioral psychology. So I got myself invited, and Joe used to remark that I was the most intelligent intelligent Freudian that he ever met. And so how I got the mark of a Freudian is because I went through the usual routines in psychoanalysis. And then I tried to apply the theory of psychoanalysis to dreams. And I remember that I applied for admission to the New York Psychoanalytic Institute, and they turned me down because they felt that anybody who had to do research on psychoanalysis to prove that it was valid obviously needed more psychoanalysis. So they recommended that I spend 4 more years on the couch. And that was enough of an impetus to push me over to psychology. At that time, when Joe Wolpe was meeting, I presented my material on masochistic dreams. And what I attempted to demonstrate with the aid of a psychology graduate student by the name of Marvin Ravitch, was that depressed people had more masochistic dreams than non-depressed people. And I presented this material, and then a young man with curly hair got up, and he said that this was very valid because I had one line for the 14 patients who had masochistic dreams in the depressive condition, and then there were 14 matched controls who were not depressed. And these 2 lines never overlapped. And I asked for this person's name, and I found out that he was none other than the person who founded positive psychology. And since that time, I have tried to keep up contact with Martin Seligman, who was a graduate student at that time in the Department of Psychology. And it's hard to believe that how many decades have passed since then. And then Marty went to Cornell. And as you know, Cornell went through a number of big upsets, mostly of a political nature. And I suspected that Marty might be vulnerable to being recruited. So I talked to our chairman, Mickey Stunken, and we arranged to have Marty come down as I think as assistant or associate professor in the Department of Psychiatry. And then eventually he merged over to psychology. The Department of Psychology in those days had a policy of not hiring anybody who had been graduated from their program because the program was so good that any graduate would be sure to go to Harvard or some other place. And ever since then, Marty and I have kept up our contact. And then about 20 years ago, we started meeting on a monthly basis. And I found that very rewarding. So that's the story.
Se encantaram? Como eu me encantei? A coisa mais linda. Eu tinha que compartilhar isso com vocês. Tinha que compartilhar essas emoções positivas e essa parte histórica da psicologia. Fala se eu não sou uma linda para vocês, hein? Beijo grande. #Miriam a linda, hein? Por compartilhar esses momentos com vocês.